Good morning. It's time for Two Guys on Sports. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning, Dick. And here we go into, the final days of some baseball.
Yeah.
As we're heading into the Legion baseball tournaments coming up.
The Marshfield American Legion Post 54 has their last regular season game tonight, by the way, Larry.
Okay.
They are over at Stevens Point to play the Sixers, and they at Buchwald Park. Tuesday night, they defeated Rapids 10-0. And then next week, they go into their regional tournament, which will be held at Rapids. I guess, what do you call it, the area over there, the south?
The Rapids Area Sports Complex.
There you go. That's the word I'm looking for. Anyway, there'll be 6 teams there. Plover and Wausau will have the first game on Tuesday, and then D.C. Everest and Marshfield will play, and then later that day, Stevens Point will take on Rapids, and the games will continue, a double elimination tournament with championship games scheduled for Friday.
Okay, so that's all coming up next week.
Yep.
And a lot of the tournaments, this is Class AAA.
Yes.
And there are a lot of other tournaments that are going on as well.
Yeah, the A and the double A's are all going at the same time around the area. You'll find Medford, Stratford, they're all in various tournaments in the area. So
there you go. They're wrapping up. Of course, you got to get that thing wrapped up because you got football season
coming around.
You got camps and everything else.
Well, and this weekend we kind of put a wrap on the 2024 season.
Yeah,
because we've got the All-Star games, Wisconsin football coaches All-Star games this weekend.
The 47th annual. Oh, no, that's the enshrinement in the Hall of Fame. I'm getting ahead of myself.
Yeah, we'll get
this
to
is
that
the Football Coaches Association All-Star games at Titan Stadium. They get underway tomorrow evening with the 8-player game. Yep. And there are some players in our area on that squad.
On the north side, we got Chad Kinsella from Gilman, Dominic Sherwood from Owen Withy, Daniel Fritz from McDonald, Mason Gay from Owen Withy, Colin Fritz from Owen Withy, of course, state champion. They have a very nice representation there.
That helps, yeah.
Joey Serepchek from Gilman, and David Anderson from McDonald. And then on the coaching side, Robin Rosemeyer will be the head coach, and along with some other guys, and then his assistant, Tommy Tallier, will also be on the staff. Yeah. And then on the south side of the 8-man, you've got Brendan Beck from Port Edwards and Ben Ross from Elma Center Lincoln, and Paul Mischlig from Newman Catholic will be the south coach.
South coach?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting. Wow. Okay.
Their definition of South really differs from mine. So
yeah, I guess a little bit. Yeah, when you've got all the other guys on the North squad,
right?
Pretty much from our area.
Absolutely. So.
All right. Well, that's going on Friday, tomorrow night at 6 over in Oshkosh, and then on Saturday you have the small and large school all-star games. The small school at noon, and that involves a number of area players.
Yeah, a lot
as
of them. We've got Boone Shire from Wittenberg-Burnhamwood. Cole Brenner from Stanley Boyd, Jet Shaner from Stratford, and Madden Marr from Stanley Boyd. If nothing else, this North small team is going to be fast.
Yeah.
I think between Marr and Shaner.
Yes.
Jack Tubbs from Stratford will be the playing, probably quarterback.
Yeah.
Alex Chappell from Stratford. Logan Zickert, who's in the middle of a baseball season also, he will be over there from Pittsville. Storm Terry, the excellent defensive end from Stanley Boyd. Ty Shelley, the great linebacker from Edgar, Danny Davila from Abbotsford, and Carter Luke, the big lineman from Stratford, will all be playing. Jason Tubbs from Stratford, and kind of his swan song.
Yeah.
He is retiring, of course, but he will be heading up to be the head coach. Greg Belter from his staff is also there, along with Jake Knappmiller from Abbotsford. Brody Marr from Stanley Boyd, and then our own Reed Lehman from Neilsville will be on that staff for the North team. So
okay, and we hope to get Reed in here next week as our guest on the show.
Yep.
We'll see how that works out if they have a camp going on.
Yeah, they've got
week,
he's gone this week, of course, with the coaching, and then next week they've got their summer camp. So very busy time for him, and then he'll have a little time off and then get into practice in a couple of weeks.
Yes, indeed. All right, so then the large school all-star game for football will be Saturday at 4.
Yep.
And one representative that I see from our area, at least from Marshfield, is Ethan Connect.
Yeah, Ethan, of course, the great three-port sports star.
Yes.
Football, he's a 6'5", 260, something else. But you got Jackson Lindell from Mosinee, Paxton Rothmeyer from Medford, Logan George from DC Everest, Alex Fudd from Medford, and then Blake Bankson from DC Everest. Braden Mitchell from DC Everest will be an assistant coach on that team also.
Okay. All right. So good representation from all the area schools and all three of those all-star games coming up this weekend. Over in Oshkosh is where they're doing that. It's going to be a busy place over in Oshkosh.
Oh, my goodness.
They have their venture next week.
Yeah.
And the all-star football
I'll
this
tell
week.
you what, the motels are packed.
Oh, yeah.
So,
Good luck trying to get a hotel over there.
Speaking of the Wisconsin football coaches, Larry, we got to really give it out for two guys that we both know pretty well and are going to be inducted in the State Coaches Hall of Fame that year. And this is Jim Hagan from Colby and Robin Rosemeyer from Gilman. And you can't find two more deserving people to be going into that Coaches Hall of Fame.
You know, and both of them are athletic directors. And
Yes, absolutely.
And, you know, as broadcasters, we're always relying on the athletic directors to help us out, and those two guys really do a nice job.
I said, this last baseball season, we were up at Gilman, and Robin Rosemeyer could not do enough to make sure we had a place to broadcast and enough cord to work with. And Jim Hagan has always been so cordial up at Colby also. But, you know, these guys got a heck of a connection when you think about it. They've never coached together, nothing, but Jim, you know, of course, was on the staff forever, but he was Jeff Rosemeyer, Robin's brother's defensive coordinator. And Jim, you know, five teams that went to state he was a part of, 4 that won. He was a head coach in 2021, but defensive coordinator on the other. And then, of course, now he retires, and Robin's son Logan takes over the head job. And, of course, Logan, of course, had been a part of Jim's staff also. So Logan, but Robin, I hadn't realized he had coached other places. He had coached at Cornell and Chippewa Falls also. So but I thought he was a lifer at Gilman.
I thought he was too.
But what a great job. And he has worn so many hats up at Gilman. You know, he's coached boys basketball, girls basketball. I'm sure he's coached baseball sometime, but he's really made a name for himself coaching football. And, of course, the Rosemeyer family tree
is the
very
Rosemeyer
wide.
name.
You know, so I said Jeff is already in the Coaches Hall of Fame. His twin brother Rodney is the head coach at Durand. So, and then I believe he's got another brother coaching somewhere too. And now his son is coaching too.
Wow.
So
the 47th enshrinement into the Wisconsin Football Coaches Association Hall of Fame will be on April 18th of next year, and 12 members actually will be inducted.
Absolutely,
and they are two of those from our area.
But two more, no more deserving people than those two guys.
No, definitely not. Definitely not. We mentioned high school football. A lot of camps getting underway next week, and then they get a week off, and then they'll start practice to get ready for the season.
Yeah, and you got about 2 weeks of practice, and you'll have a scrimmage, approximately the week of the August 15th, and then the week of August 22nd. Everybody's going to dive in, and it's going to be a straight shot to the finish line. So, and the 8-man people are the same way this year. They will be starting the same time. So a lot of stuff to cover this year.
They have more teams involved in their tournament this year. One other note here from the area: the Junior Gold Championships is the national tournament for the top youth bowlers in the country, and for the first time in history, it's taking place in Wisconsin.
Oh, wonderful!
Up to 3,500 bowlers from all over gear up for the big show, which will run through Saturday. And Dale's Weston Lanes is a host for a qualifier round through today. Okay. One of the 8 centers that are part of the Bowling Centers Association of Wisconsin.
You know, back in the day, Wisconsin used to be a very big bowling hub because of professional bowlers. Always had a big stop in Milwaukee. I believe Red Carpet Lanes was the place.
Oh, sure.
And it isn't probably quite what it is, but you'd look down at the bowling alley here in town. They got leagues every night during the year going. So, but
I used to do it back in the day.
I did too.
I've tried it a few times.
I wasn't very good at it, but I bowled in Loyal and I bowled in Spencer, and it's probably no coincidence there's no bowling alley at either place anymore. So
that goes to show you how long ago. Huh? I used to hold about a 170 average.
I was probably closer to 150, but had a lot of fun doing it.
Oh, it was fun.
One other note from the area, Larry.
Yeah.
Pittsville has come out, Pittsville High School has announced their 2025 Hall of Fame induction class.
Okay.
And several members, Joe Belt, who was from the class of 1980, outstanding football player, track and wrestler, state champion wrestler, and went on to play football at Northern Michigan.
Okay.
Mark Gronsky, class of 73, football, track, and wrestling. Jason Ortner, class of 2002, football, basketball, and track. He went on to play football at UW La Crosse. Then the 2006 baseball team, coached by Billy Urban, and the big reason I bring it, Jason Rayburn and a couple guys from this year's staff were on that team as players.
Oh, okay.
Jason, the
Sure.
coach now, and Sam Schwanebeck, and I believe Casey Crone. They were all members of that 2016 for Coach Billy Urban. So,
Wow.
And then Laura Palmer, outstanding track and field and cross country runner who I believe ran at Winona State. Tom Chasteen, football, basketball, and baseball, class of 1966, excuse me. Carly Cronstead, 2010, track, basketball, and cross country. And then Doug Brandt, 1956, basketball and baseball. So very nice class. So
Big class.
yeah. They've went all out these first few years trying to get a lot of people in and get started. So
Sure.
I believe this is their fourth class. So
Wow. You look back, you remember those names.
yeah,
You forget
absolutely.
about them sometimes.
Yeah, Jason Ortner, a heck of a wide receiver,
Yeah.
played well down at Rapids too. And like I said, Joe Belt, that's back in my time. He was a state champion heavyweight wrestler, and then went on to have an outstanding football career at Northern Michigan. So,
Oh, okay.
So,
All right.
so-
Yeah. See those guys. You forget about them, and then they bring them back
yeah,
for these
you bet.
Hall of
And
Fame.
that's what it's great about it.
Yes,
So-
it is.
so-
Indeed.
So.
All right. Well, why don't we take it into where are they now?
Okay, we're going to go up to Athens, Larry, and we're going to talk about Aaron Wickman. Aaron was a 2015 graduate of Athens High School. In the fall, Aaron was a 3-year letter winner on the Athens football team. His sophomore year, the Blue Jays were 9-2. They were co-champs of the Cloverwood Conference, qualifying for the WI Division VI playoffs, where they lost in Level 2 to Boyceville. Aaron had 3 receptions on the season for 42 yards, and on defense had 7 tackles. His junior year, Athens was 9-2. They were Cloverwood co-champs, qualifying for the WID6 playoffs, where they lost in Level 2 to Hurley. Aaron had 5 receptions for 105 yards and 2 touchdowns, and on defense he had 46 tackles and 1 pass interception. His senior year, the Blue Jays were 12-1. They were Cloverwood champions, qualifying for the WID6 playoffs, where they lost in Level 4 to St. Mary's Springs. Aaron had 7 receptions for 104 yards and 3 touchdowns, and on defense he had 64 tackles. In the winter, Aaron was a 3-year letter winner on the Athens basketball team. His sophomore year, the Blue Jays were 12-12, losing to Abbotsford in the regionals. Aaron averaged 3 points per game. His junior year, Athens was 14-8, losing to Hurley in the regionals. Aaron averaged 5 points and 2 rebounds per game. His senior year, the Blue Jays were 6-18, losing to Phillips in the regionals. Aaron averaged 8 points and 5 rebounds per game. In the spring, Aaron was a 4-year letter winner on the Athens track team. His freshman year, he was a sectional qualifier in the 200-meter run and also ran a leg on the Athens sectional qualifying 4x200 relay team. His sophomore year, he was a state qualifier in the 200-meter run, where he finished 4th with a time of 22:98. He also ran a leg on the Athens state qualifying 4x200 relay team, which finished 4th also. His junior year, he was a state qualifier in the 200-meter, where he finished 2nd with a time of 22:28. He also ran a leg on the Athens state qualifying 4x200 relay team that finished 5th, and also ran a leg on the Blue Jays state qualifying 4x100 relay team. His senior year, he was a state qualifier in the 100-meter run, where he took 1st with a time of 11:47. He also was a state qualifier in the 200-meter run, where he would finish 1st with a time of 22:18. He also was an anchor of the Blue Jays state champion 4x200 relay team that year. Athens would finish 4th as a team that year. Marathon was 1st, and Wausau Newman was 2nd. After graduation, Aaron enrolled at UW-Madison and joined the Badger men's track team as a preferred walk-on. His freshman year, he ran the 200 and 400-meter relays. His best time in the 200 was 21:78 and 50:29 in the 400. His sophomore year, he ran a personal best 49:79 at the Big Ten Outdoor Championships, finishing 12th. He also ran a personal best in the 200, 21:68 at the Big Ten Championships, finishing 15th. His junior year, he finished 11th in the 200 at the Big Ten meet and 17th in the 400. His senior year, he ran a personal best 21:55 in the 200, placing 13th at the Big Ten meet. Aaron graduated from UW-Madison in 2020 with a bachelor's degree in history and social studies education. Today, Aaron is a social studies teacher at Stevens Point Area Senior High. He also is an assistant coach at UW Stevens Point for both the girls and boys track teams, coaching the sprinters. Aaron resides in Stevens Point. Aaron Wickman, Larry.
Yeah, there you go. Nice, good sprinter.
Yep.
Well, you get under 50. You're flying around
Yeah,
at a 400.
I said what was amazing about him, he never ran the 400 in high school, and he ran it in college, and he was just great
Wow.
at it. Just
he could have been a state champion probably.
Probably. He won a
With a time like that in
yeah,
Division
absolutely.
3.
Oh, yeah, maybe he really didn't run the 100 much in high school until his senior year either. So, but
Yeah. Well, yeah, we talk about Athens football, and you were mentioning the Cloverwood and the different conferences, and starting next year, not this year, but next year, things are going to look different again around the area as conference realignments are going to take effect.
Yeah, Loyal Greenwood will be slipping into the smaller half of the central Wisconsin, I believe, and
it'll be a little different look.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's it's going to continue to happen every couple of years. I think there's going to be rearranging here
with
now.
8-player teams, more and more going to 8 players.
Yeah, because that central Wisconsin small, as I call it, or I guess people call it the Merriwood Conference. They're losing Rosholt and Assumption this year already.
Right.
And so teams are scrambling like crazy to find non-conference teams. Well, what they're doing is playing crossover with the big teams.
Right.
Well, that's not a fun thing either,
No.
It's hard. It's even in the Clore Belt. Niels found a game with Osseo Fairchild. So to make up. So
they are going varsity now again this year.
Okay. Are they back in the Clore Belt?
I believe they are because Neilsville does have them on the schedule.
Okay.
So yeah,
because they are not okay. The Dairyland With Sports came out yesterday with the Dairyland preview, and Osseo was not in it. So
I think they are still.
So they are back in the Clore Belt.
Yeah,
okay.
I think they may be in the Clore Belt for football. And maybe just the
that
rest
would be
of the
it.
sports.
Yeah, nothing else. Yeah.
Like some of them sports have been doing.
Yeah, and
or schools. I mean.
Yeah, because there's really nobody else that really fits into that slot for the Clore Belt.
Right.
Bloomer is a very higher division, and Altoona the same thing. So it's from a competitive balance. You probably. Osseo Fairchild is the best fit.
Right.
So
and they are back to varsity.
And it's only a 30-minute drive for us.
Yes. Yeah. You talk about because there are other teams that only play football in the Clover Belt and not any others like Durand, Arkansas,
Mondovi.
They only play football.
Yes. Yep.
In the Clover Belt. The rest of the school teams play in other conferences.
But it's a nice to have a solid conference like that, where you only have to worry about finding those 2 non-conference games. And of course, Nielsville's always had a pretty good thing with the Loyal Greenwood for a game, and then the other one they try to find a fit with. But
All right, it's coming.
Yeah.
Football season is
fast.
Just, about a month away. Yeah. All right, baseball, the National League and American League and the All-Star Game, and interesting thing, I guess we didn't know what they did with a tie.
Yeah.
Well, we found out.
I thought it was kind of cool how they did it, and everybody was out of pitchers. The pitchers all got used.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I didn't see the end. So.
Because Edwin Suarez from the Padres came in, and then Diaz came in from the Mets. They were the last two.
Okay.
And Chapman from Boston, Aroldis Chapman, he pitched the ninth for the American League, and that was it.
Well, I'm sure they thought Diaz was going to close that game out.
Well, I think Hope Schwartz was. But, I said the guys that, the seventh inning really got away from the National League. They went in there 6-0, and Rodriguez from the Giants, and they're bragging he hadn't given up a home run since April. and about 2 pitches later, Brett Rooker took him deep.
Oh, yeah.
That's right. And then they got, and actually Trevor McGill got him out of that inning with a third. And then to Jacob Mizorowski, he gave up a hit. He didn't strike anybody out, but pitched a scoreless inning. He did throw 9 pitches over 100.
Yeah.
and 11 pitches of at least 99. So
wow.
I think he answered the question.
Yes.
So.
Yeah. So then what happened was they tied at 6 through 9 innings, and then they had a home run derby style swing off.
But, well, you talk about a guy being made for that. How about
yeah.
Kyle Schwarber?
Yeah, he's got the right swing for that type of thing. But they had to pick who they wanted to do that earlier in the week.
Game, yeah. And I thought it was interesting who the American League came up with. But, I said, okay, Judge and those guys probably were dressed and gone by then.
No, you're right.
Because, Tarek Stubel was in street clothes, and watching,
Interesting.
And you didn't see Otani around either,
Well, so they had to pick those guys on Monday, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who they wanted to get into it.
And Brett Rooker, he hit 2. Rosarina, he hit 1. Aranda from Tampa Bay just missed tying it up. He hit one off the top of that brick wall out there. But Kyle Stowers from Miami hit 1, and then Schwarber with 3, and Alonso just got to watch. So
yeah.
But
good thing you didn't put in the guy that they had in for the home run derby.
Yeah,
Chisholm.
Oh, yeah.
He only had 3 the whole time.
Yeah, but that's pretty interesting with Schwarber. He's the first MVP ever, besides a pitcher, to win the MVP with no hits and in the box score.
Right? Yeah. Those home runs didn't count in the box score.
Absolutely.
Right.
But I thought it was a great way to do it.
Right.
You broke the tie, and then I actually really enjoyed watching the challenges to the strikes. They had, I believe, 4 of them.
And it don't take long.
No, absolutely, at all.
They look at the scoreboard.
Absolutely,
There it is.
it's done. And everybody sees it. So
Yeah.
I can see this coming in the game, Larry. I really can.
It'll
So,
be interesting how many they can use.
yeah.
That would be the big thing.
Okay, this game they had 2. And if you had successful, you do not you continue to have 2.
Continue it. Oh, so 2 the whole game.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And
each
and
team.
and if you lose one, it's done.
Okay.
You're down to 1, and
Okay.
so but as long as you're successful, you'll always have 2, I guess. So
Be careful where you use them.
but just listening to a lot of experts, John Schmaltz caution. He doesn't think pitchers should do it too often because he said every pitcher thinks it's a strike,
Right.
and then every batter thinks it's a ball. The best person to do it is the catcher. No ifs, ands, or what's about that.
Right.
So,
yeah.
and
But the hitter did do it
Yeah.
the other night
Yeah.
and actually won the challenge because the ball was
Absolutely.
low.
Yeah, all 4 challenges were very good. They were very good. Cal Raleigh did the first one, and then Kirk from Toronto did the last one, and they were right spot on. So
What I'm just wondering is how are the umpires feeling about this?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because you're pretty much showing them up is what you're doing.
Absolutely, but aren't you doing the same thing with a replay too?
You are.
But the Players Association has made it very open. They do not want this to replace umpires.
Right.
They want a little challenge system, but they do not want the human aspect to go away either.
Right.
So
yeah.
and you look at some of those pitches, the ones that I seen last night that Jones were right on the border.
Yeah.
They were,
right. Yeah.
It's not like they're missing pitches down the middle.
Right.
They're just on the corners and everything else.
It's usually a low pitch. Or,
Yeah, and to me that's like reviewing how far a play went in football. Forward progress and things like that.
Right,
To me,
yep.
you get it right. I'm okay with it. So
Getting back to the home run derby style swing off at the end, it's almost like in youth basketball where they have the free throws at the end to see who makes the most.
Said, back in the day, I remember going to some. They kept moving that free throw line closer for kids, and they still couldn't make it.
That's what it kind of reminded me of.
But I said, they go back to that 2002 game in Milwaukee where they ran out of pitchers.
Right.
Well, they didn't have anything like this, so
Yeah.
So
Yep.
but
Yep.
so.
All right. Speaking of baseball, we're halfway through, and this is the first time ever 5 players have at least 30 home runs at the All-Star break.
Absolutely, yeah.
So I'm not sure what is the juice balls or what do we got going on here?
Nobody has brought it up yet. I am surprised. Because here's Cal Raleigh did have 30 home runs last year, so he didn't come. He come out of nowhere for you and me.
Right. But he had him for the whole year.
Yeah, right. But 30,
He's got 38 All-Star.
are they going to say it's torpedo bats? Judge and Otani, it's fine, but I don't know. I haven't heard anything about the ball yet.
No.
But a lot of these guys are playing in pretty hitter-friendly parks.
Yeah.
You look at Judge playing in Yankee Stadium. Oh, my
Well,
goodness.
with these pitchers throwing in excess of 100,
Yeah.
when you make contact,
It's gone.
the ball's going to go.
Yeah. I said, that when Mizorowski pitched against the Dodgers, Ohtani, 102 miles an hour, put it right back, and that wasn't much of a swing he had to take.
No, as long as you
Yeah,
make contact
the
and
ball-
get through on it.
The pitch did it all of it. So,
Right,
So,
yeah. Yes.
And I think it's a big part of these guys. It used to be a big thing when a guy threw 95 miles an hour.
Right.
Now that's some guy,
That's off speed.
Yeah. Yeah. Now it's getting up to 100, 101 miles an hour.
Yeah.
You get your bat on the ball. The parks aren't as big as they used to be, and they're gone. So,
Oh, yeah.
but,
You bet.
yeah, I'm waiting for that, though. I mean, you think about it, juice balls. But, for the most part, the season has been pretty interesting to watch, though. So,
Well, how about the Brewers?
yeah, what's
A
good?
game back in
Yeah.
the Central, and they're
Yeah.
on top in the wild card.
Yeah, and just playing well, making contact. And the big thing is they started getting contributions from. They had in May they had so many guys hitting below 200, and they're all Caleb Durbin is a guy that I've really enjoyed watching.
Yeah.
And then of course Yelich has really come along good too. But this Vaughn that they picked up from the
Andrew
it's
Vaughn.
down- it's 10 RBIs in 5 games or something like that.
And it's not just the same guy.
No, somebody different
You don't
every
have to
day.
rely on that one
Yeah,
guy,
yeah,
and
yeah.
they're getting clutch hits.
Yeah, absolutely. You'd think Churio would be carrying the team, and he's having a great year. He's hitting 260, but he's right there in home runs, but he's not carrying the team. Yelich is not carrying the team. When Yelich started going good, the team started going good,
Right.
though. So,
yeah.
so
yeah. So a game back as they start.
Yeah.
Well, they head to Los Angeles. They swept them at home,
Yeah.
so we'll see what they
Yeah,
can do
we'll
out
see.
there.
Yeah.
It'll be a little different.
I wondered how Dave Roberts was going to handle the Brewer pitchers at the All-Star game.
Yeah, maybe we'll get you in.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Yeah. But, they got a 3-game series at the Dodgers. Then they go to Seattle, too, which is no easy
okay,
thing
right,
either.
yeah.
So a very tough 6-day road trip to start the season. But
I tell you, the Brewers' pitching staff has been doing
it's
well.
outstanding. It's the starters, Peralta has just been fantastic. 11 and 3, 11 and 4. Mizorowski has been, and Woodruff is just like been adding 2 guys in a trade.
Yeah, and you get Quinn Priester
Yeah.
and
And Quinn Priester was added in a trade early in the season.
Quintana.
And Quintana, that was really below the radar signing. So, but it's been fantastic. They've got Nestor Cortes coming back after the break. I don't know where they're going to put him.
well, there's
Yeah.
been talk that they should just maybe release
Bite-
him.
Yeah. It might happen.
Yeah.
Or else maybe swing him for. That's what they did with the guy with the White Sox to get Vaughn. They traded Aaron
Oh, Savaldi. Yeah.
Savali, and they swung a trade for Vaughn.
Yeah.
Vaughn went into the minor leagues, straightened it out a little bit, come up, and was immediate.
Now
Of
look
course,
at
got a little bit of a break with Hoskins going down with that thumb. But
Right.
that thumb is going to take Hoskins out till almost the end of August. So
Yeah.
Vaughn is going to be a big contributor, hopefully. So.
All right. Well, we talked football earlier, and the Packers training camp gets underway next week.
Next week, yeah, some other teams are going in. Rookies coming in at the end of this week already. So,
Yeah, some of those teams I think start a little earlier in the
Yeah.
preseason.
but because
You got the Hall of Fame,
Fame game,
of course.
which is the week before everything else,
Right.
and then of course Packers. I believe the first Friday night in August is when they
got the Jets.
Yep.
Jets
so-
at home. And they actually practice with the Jets.
Yeah, absolutely.
A couple of practices before that.
I'm
game.
sure that was set up when Sala was there. Well, they did that last year, didn't they? 'Cause,
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah,
because Robert Sala was still the head coach, and
Yeah.
he's gone now. But Jets put
putting out some money.
money. Yeah, Sauce Gardner and Garrett Wilson both getting some pretty good money. So
Yeah, and
Yeah.
they also signed Justin Fields to that
Yeah.
$20 million a year contract. So
yeah, putting a lot of faith in it. I like Justin Fields. I don't know if he's $20 million a year good though. So,
yeah,
so-
we'll see.
But
They're getting all the pieces around him.
I think the Chicago Bears really gave up on Justin Fields
They
way
did,
too soon.
I think.
They wanted Caleb Williams though, but I do think Justin Fields is a good quarterback, and of course he'll be throwing to Garrett Wilson. They know each other pretty well.
Right, yeah.
So
One other note in NFL football: the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are celebrating their 50th season.
wearing the creamsicle jerseys to
The
open
old-
the season.
The only time they wore those was in 1976.
Yep.
The white
Yeah.
jerseys with the
Yeah.
creamsicle letters.
Yeah, and they got rid of them after the first season because they went 0-14. they went on to lose 12 more
Yes,
the next year
yes.
before they finally won one. But yeah, the creamsicle jerseys. And it's I don't know, and it's.
I always liked it.
I thought it was kind of cool, but it's a different color. I guess I don't know exactly what you'd call the color. We say, but
Yeah, so they're
it
going to
looks
do
like
that.
a creamsicle to me.
Yes,
So
they're going to do that. The original 1976 white road uniforms for their home
yeah,
opener.
this will be 50 years for them. It's
Unbelievable.
unbelievable.
Yeah.
Them and the Seahawks came in the same year.
Yes,
so,
they did.
So
All right.
so.
That's Two Guys on Sports for this week. I'm Larry Hazer.
I'm Dick Olson.
We'll talk to you again next week.